All right, hey everyone, and welcome back to the session. Let me just share the screen and yeah, let me know if you're all able to hear me properly and see the screen. If so, we'll go ahead and get started right away. Right, yes, perfect. That's awesome. So let's go on and yeah, let's continue from where we left off. Now, just to go back to the current point and remember and recall, this is what we have done so far. We have started to take these 12-month dataset and we have combined them into a single file to begin with. After combining them to a single file to begin with, we then started to see all the empty rows of it, remove them. We then figured out all the rows which were supposed to have a numeric value in quantity ordered but did not. We removed that as well. Followed by this, our next step is to take a look at each data type and see whether it's in the right data type or not. So we saw that quantity ordered and price each were not in numeric format. So we converted it to numeric. However, there's still one data type that we need to convert because if we need to calculate monthly sales or so on, we need to convert order date into a number format. Only when we convert order date into a number format, we can perform this operation. So let's start doing that and let's work around it. Now, in order to convert date, order date, which we have, which is currently a string, into a date time object. This is what we need to do. I'm going to use the same thing as we did before, this exact same logic, but this time it's going to be order date, and this order date, we're going to take it from order date and we're going to convert it instead of to numeric, I'll make it to date time. Now here's the problem. Remember this, please note this carefully. To date time, you have to specify what format it is in, so that it gets to know which part of this is year, which part of this is month, and so on. We need to figure that out. So let's do that. So to perform that, in toDateTime function, you get to see there is yeah, a parameter called format. This is the one. So you get to see there's a parameter called format. Let me walk through that. Yeah, format. If you remember, we had studied this. We had learned this. That is strf time, string format times parsing. We have certain things we need to look at. That is exactly what we're going to follow in our case. So let's follow that in our case and try to convert it. Just for our reference, let's take a look at what format do we have it in. Let's observe that once. So I'm just going to print sales.df dot head and print this. You get to see this is the format we have it in. So let's remember this format and we need to mimic this exact format. So I'm going to use format equals a string, and in that string, let's add this data. Let's look at this. The first thing we have is month. Now, since I already know these, I don't have to go online and check, but for our reference, I'll just show this particular link that you can access. So I'm just going to share this for reference. If you want to follow this and compare this simultaneously. However, in interest of time, and since we know this, I'm just going to perform this directly right away. Now, here, the format we're going to have is as follows. The first thing is month. So I'm going to add it as %m. Then we have slash. Then we have date. So I'm going to add it as %d. Then slash. Then we have year. Year is 2 digits, not 4 digits. Since it's two digits, it's going to be percentage lowercase y, not uppercase y. After this, we have hour and minute. So hour is 2 digits, minute is 2 digits. So we just have to take hour as percentage H, and minutes as percentage M. This should work fine. Let's try this out. No error. Now that there is no error, let's just print sales.df.info again. We got it converted to date time. Now, if you go for sales.df.head, you get to see all this information and you get to see the order date properly defined. That is year, month, date, and hours and minutes. So we've got this identified as it is. This is how you ensure that prior to even performing your first operation, let's remember, we haven't even started with our first operation yet. Before we even perform our first operation, we get to do this to make sure that we get the right kind of data in the right kind of format that we require. Now, with this, I hope this is clear. I hope this makes sense. Please take a look at this. Let me know if you have any queries on this particularly. And yeah, we'll go ahead to the next part after this. So I'll just share this just in case you would like to perform, let's say, this operation to begin with. I'm just going to share this for reference. Right. With this, let's move ahead to the next part. Now that we finally have the information that we need, we can find out. Let's go back to our question. We have done so much since we got our initial question or initial query. That is, we need to find out which month of the year has the best and worst sales and how much sales are done on a monthly basis. Now, think about this. They're asking us how much sales are done on a monthly basis, which means we need to actually figure out what is the total sales per order. We don't have total sale per order because you see here there is quantity ordered and price each. There's no total sales or total cost or total price. We need to create a new column called total cost that will multiply quantity ordered and price each and help us obtain the data that is going to help us figure out how much sales is done. Without that, it'll be very difficult for us to directly figure it out just for our reference. So let's try it out. So we have to multiply quantity ordered column and price each column, and we need to create a new column. Let's do that. Let's create a new column again, sales df of. Let's have the new column name called total cost or total cost. This will be equal to sales df of price each multiplied by sales df of quantity ordered. So we can basically multiply two series and create another series where appropriate rows of them will be multiplied and we'll get the response. This is an easily performable operation that we can do. And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do to begin with. Let's perform this. And let's again print sales data frame. We get to see we have a total cost. So 11.5 times 2, we get 23.9. Then 1 times 99.99, we get the same thing, and so on. So we are able to perform this basic information here and now. Once we have this, we can now figure out which month has the best sales and which month has the worst sales. There's again one more problem. Think about this. Let me put this in a perspective. We don't have month as a column at all. We have date. From date, we can extract month, but we don't have separate column called month. Now, here's what I want us to just remember. When they say sales per month, I need sales in one axis, month in another axis. So for each month, how much sales were done? A simple bar chart. This will help us understand in a very simple and easy way how much sales are done on a monthly basis. That's all we need to do. So to do that, I need to first get for each month how much sales are done. Right now, we have all these 12 files combined, and we have sales according to a date. That date has month somewhere within it. So I need to take that month out of that date and access it. That's what we need to do. So let's try this out. We have this order date. So let's take df dot sales data frame of order date. You'll get this series. In this series, I'll take the first. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll take. Okay, I think. Okay, I should not have clicked undo. Um, okay, let me see if I can get the same content back. Yeah, there we go. We have the same content, yes. So we have this order date specifically here. And out of this order date, I need to take month into a separate column. Only when I have month into a separate column, I can perform my operation on top of it. So that's our next step to do. Let's do that. Take a look at this. You remember in our case, whenever we go for data frame, if I go for order date, if I want to convert it to string and perform some operations, I do .str and then perform operation. Similarly, if you want to convert it to date and perform some operation, you use .dt some operation. So remember, whenever you have a date time object, you convert it to dt date and perform the operation. Otherwise, you just convert it to let's say something like string or something like that to perform these operations. So let's convert to date, and I need to get month. I need to get which month. So I will use date dot month. If you run this, you'll get the month for that particular, let's say, order. And this I will store in a separate column now called sales data frame of month. Again, I just want to clarify this in short once. Whatever we are doing right now with Pandas is to make sure that we go through each and every step. We essentially go through each and every step of our operation and try to perform these tasks, try to perform these basic set of tasks that will, one, help us understand how we perform data analysis in reality with this, and two, help us also understand, okay, what functions we use often. So you can do this in future. And we're not going to solve too many questions. This is one question that we're trying to solve. If required, we can try solving another question as well, but we're going to limit it at just two and try to work around and move on to other concepts and other things that we need to learn, because let me just be honest about this. Python is a vast language, as we have already seen. There are so many things that we can do within this. Anyway, moving aside, let's get back to where we were. Now that we have this new column, let's print sales data frame dot head again. You can get to see we have a new column called total cost and we have a new column called month. This is exactly what we needed. All we need right now is to figure out which month has how much sales. Now, let me just ask you one question. One simple question to begin with. We have a column called month. Okay, I think I made a mistake. It should have been month with uppercase M because everywhere we follow the same. So I should have done it with uppercase M. But for our purpose, let's just ignore that to begin with. Let's continue ahead. Okay, it has executed anyway. That should not be a problem. Right, now I have a column called month where many months have same value, and I have a column called sales where for this particular month I have 13.99, 7.5, or 99.99, whatever value it could be. And I want to know for each month what is the sum of sales. so that I get to figure out how much sales are done on a monthly basis. What function that we have learned so far can we use? What do you think? A fairly simple question. What function that we have learned so far can we use right now? Any guesses? All right, let me point it back to a different way. Here's what I want to do. I have month as a particular column. I want to make sure that for one value of month throughout our data set, for one value of month, I need to add sales and get to know what is the sum of it. So all I need to do is let's get back to our Pokemon data set. Fortunately or unfortunately, that we learned, we just have to group by month. After grouping by month, we can get to know what is the sum of sales. Exact same thing that we have done. Also, yeah, welcome Jenny to the session. So yeah, exact same thing that we did earlier. Let's just do the same. We have a column called month. So let's